Hey everyone, it's Ben, taking a break from mixing the Midnight Lands album to bring you a little bit of guitar fun. Okay, this is an old Yamaha acoustic guitar that I've had for many years and love it very much. And I want to introduce you to a tuning that I think can change your life. It certainly has changed mine by being the basis for a bunch of songs on this new record. So we have C on the bottom, G, D, G again, A, D on the top. CGDGAD. CGDGAD. So you basically have a C sus2 chord on the bottom and a G sus2 chord on the top. Two suspended 2 chords as your open strings. What could be better if you make this sound without having to do anything with your fretting hand? So if you treat it like just these 5 strings here, now you can play it basically like you might play open G if you ever do that. So you can take one finger and put it on the right there, and let that ring out. So here's your A chord, one finger. So you can go between A and G. One finger. Here's your C chord. Here's your D chord. Here's your E chord. Here's your F chord. And then here's your G again. So for me, one finger being able to play the chord makes life a lot easier. And having an A and D on the top rings out and sounds great. So even if you do B flat, here's your 3rd fret, one finger across the G, D, and G string, and now you have this. What a great sounding chord that is. One finger. And then up 2 frets to the C, and then open. And now you also get the opportunity to play one finger on the bottom 3. So for example, here's one finger on the 3rd fret going across. There's your E flat chord with your G, A, and D ringing out in the top. Slide it up 2 frets to the 5th fret, now you have an F chord. So you could do, slide it up another, you have a G chord. So if you can play great sounding chords with just one finger, it makes life a little bit easier. And it also gives you the chance to use your pinky or your ring finger, depending on the situation, to add a little bit of extra juice on the top end of your chord. So for example, your A chord might sound like this. But if you put your pinky on the 4th fret of the G string, now it sounds like this. Of course, you can pull it on and off. and then you add your pinky for a little juice. So here's your A, put the pinky on. Here's your B, put the pinky on. Let's go up 1 fret, 5th fret, with the pinky on the 7th fret of the G string. Here's your C chord. Let's go up 2 frets. Now our 7th fret with our big fat finger, and then a pinky on the 9th fret. Up 1 fret. Up 1 more. So then, this is great, but why drop this one down to C? You drop this one down to C to give yourself this chord, which is basically a D chord, and now it sounds like this. If you take the pinky off, it sounds like this. This is 1 finger. So now put the pinky back in. Drop our index finger off, but leave the pinky. Now you have a beautiful sounding C chord. Right, and now here's your E minor. 1 finger. I'm using my ring finger to hold down the 4th fret and these 3 strings. So the GAD rings out. But now you've got on the bottom E, B, and F sharp. So I did at least one song constructed around this E minor, C, D. I'll just show you the riff real quick. Right? So the more you can play with 1 finger, then your other fingers are maybe available for twinkly bits or pull-offs or what have you. Standard tuning is great if you always play in standard tuning. You know, if you watch Uncle Larry, and he generally is playing in standard tuning, and his knowledge of the fretboard and every note and relationship between every note is insane, is perfect. And so that enables him to go up and down the fretboard extremely fast and confidently. But for the rest of us who are looking for maybe a little bit easier time of getting around, altered tunings are great, and they're not hard. You just change the tuning on the string to something different. And it opens up the guitar to different chords and different types of voices and sort of embedded harmony within the chords you're playing that you might not otherwise have. So even something like A minor. Well, how do you play A minor like this? Well, here's A, sort of power chord. So you need to get a C in there to make it an A minor. So that's your 5th fret of your G string. Or it can be the 3rd fret of your, what would normally be a B string, but is now an A string. So now you have this. Like a song, all right, and it's a little unusual, or just a a chord that people maybe haven't heard 8 billion times, like your regular sort of cowboy chord, C, G, D, E, A minor, that stuff. So take advantage of the fact that you can tune your notes to any note, tune your strings to any note, and you can make life a little easier on yourself by giving yourself a single finger to play chords. You could play a whole song with one finger. It certainly makes life a lot easier. So take advantage of the open strings. Take advantage of pull-offs. And make the guitar sing in an entirely new voice by using open tunings like CGDGAD. All right, we'll see you soon.